Taking care of your mental health is important, and for many people right now, it seems hard. Dealing with the loss of a loved one, a friend, a home, valuables, or even feeling the hurt in the community can each take a mental and emotional toll on someone. Dr. Faisal with ARH says paying close attention to your mental health and the health of those around you is crucial right now.
In the aftermath of it, there are sequelae because of these traumatic events, and one of the most common thing is an acute stress reaction where you have flashbacks, you have nightmares, you have avoidance behaviors, you have changes in your mood.
WYMT's Olivia Calfee will have more from Dr. Faisal and how to cope with this trauma coming up at 6.
Well, toasty temperatures are on the way back into the mountains as we head into the next couple of days, but here's the good news. Not quite yet. Still comfortable outside. I look outside at the moment from the front door out here at WYMT, upper 70s to near 80 here in Hazard. You don't see any clouds, but you do see a little bit of haze, but it's not because of the humidity. That's because of wildfire smoke. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a little bit. Upper 70s to near 80 outside right now, though a little cooler as you head over toward Pikeville at 75, same thing Clintwood, and 72 in Wise. Usual cool spots there in Southwest Virginia. Dew points are in the upper 50s to near 60, and when they're that low, you're in for a rather refreshing day around the mountains, and that's something we'll continue to see through the next couple of days. Satellite and radar, a clean sweep, I promise. This is in motion. There's just nothing, there's not a whole lot to track as we head out there this afternoon. Into this evening, upper 50s with light winds, mostly clear with a little bit of patchy fog. Details coming up on how warm those temperatures get a little later on this week and into the weekend coming up in a few minutes. Jim?
Thanks, Evan. Loving that uneventful weather. Students across Kentucky are joining in the fight against food insecurity. The Christian Appalachian Project, CAP, is hosting hunger walks in several areas today, including Lexington. Local leaders joined students at Lexington Christian Academy this morning. They set a goal to raise 25,000 pounds of food by tomorrow night. So far, they've collected 8,000. Dr. Scott Wells at LCA says he's grateful to be a part of a school that wants to help.
But it's always nice when we can gather as a family and literally walk and bring awareness to food insecurity. We don't realize at LCA that many of our neighbors, even here in Fayette County, have food insecurity issues. And so we are blessed beyond measure. And because we're blessed, we're called to give back.
There was also a hunger walk in southern Kentucky earlier this morning. Students and community members in Rockcastle County joined the effort. Christian Appalachian Project estimates 1 in 5 children face food insecurity in Appalachia. We're learning more about the final report into a deadly pipeline explosion in Lincoln County. It happened 3 years ago. One woman was killed while several others were hurt. Homes were also destroyed in the explosion. The National Transportation Safety Board released a detailed report yesterday. Our Phil Pendleton spoke with Lincoln County Emergency about the findings.
I fall short of placing blame. If you want to make a distinction between blame and responsibility, which I do, certainly they're responsible because it's their pipeline. And could they have done a better job? Yeah, I think they could.
Phil also spoke with Ephraim Helton, who represented 85 clients who sued Enbridge. He says all of them received confidential settlements. Today marks 1 week since the death of Queen Elizabeth II in Britain country, and Britain continues to mourn and honor its longest-serving monarch. Members of the royal family emerged to thank the public for its support as thousands wait in line to pay their last respects. CBS's Terry Okita is in London with the latest.
William and Catherine, the new Prince and Princess of Wales, stepped out to greet well-wishers at the family's private estate in eastern England. King Charles was in private reflection a day after leading the procession behind his mother's coffin to Westminster Hall, where her body now lies in state for the public's outpouring of gratitude.
She was my age when she became queen, and I can only imagine how much she had to learn and sacrifice for that.
These visitors flew from California to pay their respects.
She's been the queen
my entire life.
Yeah, and I'm the same age as Prince William, so, you know, you think about your own grandmother and things like that. I mean, she's always been the queen.
The line leading into Westminster Hall has stretched for more than 4.5 miles at times. That calculates to about a 9-hour wait to get inside.
It's a momentous occasion, and I am finding myself feeling more emotional the closer I get.
Once inside, mourners file past the coffin, many in tears, many bowing to their queen.
It's just incredibly moving, you know, seeing her and her troops and her people walking past.
On Friday, the King and his 3 siblings will hold a 15-minute vigil around the Queen's coffin. And on Monday, they'll accompany it to Westminster Abbey for the funeral. By then, hundreds of thousands of people will have had their moment at the Queen's side to say their goodbyes. Terry.
The funeral on Monday will be Britain's first state funeral since the death of Winston Churchill in 1965. Leaders at the United Nations headquarters in New York gathered Thursday to pay tribute to the Queen, Queen Elizabeth II, Britain's longest-serving monarch. The Queen died last Thursday after 70 years on the throne. The event began with a moment of silence. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres praised Elizabeth's work and her support for UN ideals, describing the monarch as an anchor of stability across decades of often turbulent history.
The sun has set on a most extraordinary reign. We are here today to pay tribute to the memory of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, Britain's longest reigning monarch. Queen Elizabeth was a pillar without peer on the world stage for more than 70 years.
Guterres also went on to say he's sending his condolences to the Queen's bereaved family, the government, the people of the United Kingdom, and the wider Commonwealth. A near total ban on abortion went into place in Indiana today, while a judge in Ohio temporarily blocked the state's 6-week abortion ban that went into effect after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Abortion clinics in Indiana are no longer allowed to perform the procedure. Under a new law, abortions are banned except in cases of rape and incest before the 10th week of pregnancy, or if the fetus has a lethal anomaly or the mother's life or physical health is at risk. Indiana was the first state to pass a near total abortion ban after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in June. West Virginia's legislature passed a similar bill earlier this week.
Shouldn't be used as a form of control, and so that's what we passed.
Heading into the midterm elections, a CBS News poll found 59% of voters saying abortion is a very important issue. On Tuesday, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham moved to ban most abortions nationwide. Democrats blasted the bill. The labor market has remained strong despite some slowing in other areas of the economy. Labor Department data released yesterday reports the number of first-time claims for unemployment benefits fell for the 5th straight week. Initial claims for unemployment insurance were 213,000 for the week ending September 10th. That's down 5,000 from the prior week and the lowest level in 3 months. People in the U.S. are spending more money. Yesterday, the Census Bureau reported retail sales rose unexpectedly by 0.3% in August. That's after a revised decrease of 4.4% in July. The jump is being tied to the continued drop in gas prices, with Americans spending 4.2% less at the pump last month. High food inflation was reflected by a 0.2% increase in spending at grocery stores on a month-over-month basis. The report also showed retail sales, which are not adjusted for inflation, were up by 9.8% from a year ago. Hey, coming up as First at 4 continues, the owner of one popular clothing company is giving away ownership of the company in an effort to fight climate change. We'll explain.
Plus, after lower humidity and warmer conditions, well, we'll keep it going as we head into the weekend. Latest details next.